Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Friends, in this particular video we are going to overview legal systems in Australia. A Q&A guide to the legal system in Australia. The Q&A gives a high-level overview of the key legal concepts including the constitution, system of governance and the general legislative process, the main source of law, the court structure and hierarchy, the judiciary and its appointment, the general rules of civil and criminal litigation, including reporting restrictions, evidentiary requirements, the roles of the judge and counsel, burdens of proof, and penalties. What form does your constitution take? Australia has a formal written constitution called the Commonwealth of Australian Constitution Act 1900. It is also referred to as a Commonwealth Constitution. The Constitution and the Australian Constitution. The primary source of the Constitution is Section 9 of the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900, which is an act of the UK Parliament. The Constitution is a federal constitution and is the supreme law and framework for the federal government and its relationship with the states and territories of Australia. Section 107 of the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1900 preserves the right of states to maintain their own state constitutions. Constitutions are referred to using the name of the state to which they apply, such as the New South Wales Constitution or the Victorian Constitution. There are two further sources of constitutional law in Australia: the Statute uh, of Westminster 1931, an act of the UK Parliament, allowed Australia to repeal UK legislation and to legislate extraterritorially. It also removed the UK's power to make law for Australia. Prior to this, Australia was recognized as a de facto independent dominion of the UK but did not have legislation granting legal recognition of independence. The passage of this legislation prohibited the UK Parliament for making laws for Australia other than by consent. The Australia Act 1986 joint statutes between the UK and Australian parliaments broke ties between the UK and Australian parliaments by ending the UK Parliament's power to make laws for Australia and empowering state parliaments to repeal UK legislation. Number two, what is the system of governance? System. The Constitution provides for a system of government that is responsible to the people and representative of the people through the institution of the Commonwealth Parliament. Australia is a federation. The constitution distributes certain governance and law-making powers between the states and the central Commonwealth government. This constitutional power sharing is described as exclusive, concurrent, and reserved depending on the head of power and who wields it. There is a national Commonwealth Parliament, and each state or territory has their own governance structures, most commonly conspired of a state parliament. The federal parliament and federal courts have jurisdiction over federal law matters such as citizenship, income tax, visas and borders, family law, corporations, treaty making, and bankruptcy. Certain matters are governed by state law and dealt with by state courts such as criminal law, building and planning, road laws, education contracts, and torts. The main political parties in Australia are the Nationals, the Australian Labor Party, and the Liberal Party of Australia. Elections to the federal parliament are usually held every 3 years with 151 seats in the House of Representatives and 40 seats in the Senate.